Today I will show you guys my Demon Hunter builds for PvE, and we are using the signature skill of Demon Hunters from past Diablo games, which is the Strafe. This skill wasn't that useful in Diablo Immortal so far, but with these builds it works pretty well. I have two different setups because some of you like to use Shadow Sight when farming in the open world and doing bounties. Originally I wasn't using this skill in my build, but I created one more build with this skill as well. So let's start with the first build and let me show you the skills first. Well, obviously we have Strafe with 3 essences. First one is an offhand essence, and this essence makes it possible to fire piercing shots at nearby enemies, which works kind of like the Hungerer for crossbow shot. So thanks to this essence we hit everything at once. And we have 2 main end essences, and one of them increases the duration of the skill by 39%, which is quite important. So basically we never run out of Strafe and we never use our primary attack skill. Basically Strafe becomes our new primary attack skill. Instead of spamming crossbow shot, we are using Strafe all the time. And the last one launches rockets when we use Strafe, which gives us extra little bit of damage. And our next skill is the spinning chakram, and we are using 2 different essences for this one. Offhand essence makes these blades orbit around us, which is perfect. Thanks to this we can run around and deal damage to the mobs. And the Shoulders essence increases the maximum charges of this skill by 1. Next we have Vengeance with the Summon Chest essence. Well, it creates a summon that deals damage. When you farm in circles, you can just leave this summon on a pack of mobs and move on to the next one because it will kill those by itself. And you should use this Pants essence too, but I don't have it yet, and this essence gives us extra little bit of damage. I am doing fine without it, but if you have it, just use it. Lastly, we have Daring Swing with a head essence, which increases our movement speed by 30% after you use this skill. As you know, this is our movement ability. And we don't need to talk about the primary attack skill because we don't have to use it with this build. Alright, now let's talk about the set items. Right now my set item stocks are a mess, so let's not look at what I am using, but of course I will tell you what you should use. And there are a couple of options. First, if you have Viper's Bite or Everlasting Torment, you can use 4 pieces of Banquet and 2 pieces of Izatar. You need those gems because this build itself doesn't apply any effects that activate the Banquet set. Second option is using 4 pieces of Izatar and 2 pieces of Grace, and this will work great, or you can use 4 pieces of Grace and 2 pieces of Izatar, that should be fine as well. Now let's go over the essences quickly, and after that we will talk about the second build with Shadow Sight. For the headpiece, we are using Havras He-Wander. Daring Swing also increases your movement speed by 30% for 4.8 seconds. And for the chest, we have this one called Express Demon. Vengeance now summons your inner demon to attack nearby enemies, but it no longer passively increases your movement speed. And for the shoulders, we have Shadow Stalker's Spolders. Spinning Chakram maximum charges increase by 1. And for the pants, we have this one. Vengeance also drops a field of hatred around you, allowing you and summons to fire a bolt of hatred at a random nearby enemy every 0.5 seconds. And for the main end, we have Turmoil. Strafe also launches homing rockets, each dealing 4.9k damage to nearby enemy. And for the offhand, we have Shader Rain. Spinning Chakram now orbits your location for several seconds. And for the additional main end, we have this one. Strafe duration increased by 39%. And for the additional offhand, we are using Strafe essence called Piercing Shot. Strafe now fires piercing shots at nearby enemies. Alright, for the second build, almost everything stays the same and we just use Shadow Sight instead of Vengeance. And to make this work, you don't have to change your set items. Maybe you can use 2 pieces of Urge to increase the duration of Shadow Sight, and for the other 4 you can still use Banquet, Izatar or Grace. And since we don't use Vengeance anymore, I changed my chest and pants essence. For the chest, I have this one which increases the damage of Strafe by 19%, and for the pants, I am using Slayer's Breaches, which is not that useful since mobs die pretty fast, but we don't have any other pants essence that we can use for this build. Well, once you do these changes, you have yourself a similar build but with Shadow Sight. Other than that, we can talk about the Paragon Setup. I am using Treasure Hunter when I do open world farm, and you should use this as well because it increases the number of scrap and dust you get by a good amount. And for the point distribution, first max out your damage and armor pan, and after that you can spend the rest of the points however you like. It doesn't really matter for open world farm. And I think that's all for these setups. If you have any questions or suggestions, let me know in the comment section, and take care.